Hi there, and welcome back to 21 Day Small Act Big Impact Challenge. Today is day 17. We are almost there, and it's incredible how much you've done to work toward this goal of 21 days. I wonder for you if it's becoming a habit to wake up in the morning and to want to help somebody. It's pretty awesome, and I don't know about you, but like I said before, I feel like I'm doing more and more kind acts for more and more different people, and hopefully those kind acts are kind of rippling outward. Today's challenge really is rooted in advocacy. So what I mean by that is I really want you to think of somebody who needs someone else to advocate a little bit on their behalf. For whatever reason, they don't have the power or the means to advocate for themselves, and so they are reliant or they don't receive the advocacy that they need to meet their needs and to feel respected and safe in this world. As we know, cortisol, that stress hormone, can really chime in quickly and can really shut everything down for us when we're feeling stressed out and when we're feeling alone. So advocacy is something that we can do to help people to feel like they belong and that they've got rights too, basically. So really, it's something that takes a lot of courage. Sometimes if we're witnessing acts that aren't kind, bullying, harassment, any of that kind of stuff, it can be really, really hard to speak up, scary, and makes you really vulnerable. It actually makes you feel like maybe you won't belong. And so often people will choose belonging over integrity and doing the right thing. So I'm asking you today, have the integrity, do the right thing, stand up for someone who needs it. I'll tell you a quick story. So we were at the park probably a few weeks ago, and my daughter, who's 3 years old, had her little helmet on, and she didn't want to take off after riding her bike. So there she was at the park, and she had joined a game of hide and seek with a few daycare kids. And the lady who was watching the kids, was kind of gazing absentmindedly at her phone, and she was sort of narrowing her eyes at the children and kind of grumpy and whatever. Anyway, a little detached, but that's okay. And my daughter was, running in and out of the trees, having a great time, laughing her head off. And then suddenly this boy came out of nowhere and just shoved one of the daycare girls right down. And she couldn't have been more than 4 years old. Well, she just crumpled to the ground, and her face just, it just fell, and then she just totally burst out in tears. Like tears were streaming down her face. And the boy, instead of sort of realizing and having some empathy, he stands over her and he goes, "You're always such a crybaby, and nobody ever wants to be your friend," and just totally put this girl down. My daughter witnessed all of this at 3, and as a mom, I was like, God, I gotta get my kid out of here. Like, this is not good. But she watched this little girl get up, tear off toward the grass, still sobbing, and slump down in the field probably about 100 yards from where we were. You could see in that moment that that little girl didn't feel like anyone had her back. She felt totally lost. She felt alone, and she didn't belong, and she was not safe. My daughter saw all of this, and it kind of registered on her face, and she made her way over there, and there she was with her little bobblehead helmet, ran over, crouched down, looked this little girl in the eyes, held out her hand, and this little girl looked up at her, and her face just lit up. She stopped crying. She took my daughter's hand, and off they went, skipping to the park. And that was that. And that was what the rest of our little visit looked like. We were together. So there was this little girl who really just needed an advocate. She needed someone to show her that she was worthy of her place on the earth. And my daughter was able to do that. And I have to tell you, when I saw her do that, it gave me chills, because I thought, listen, if at 3, you know how to do this, then surely we should all be able to provide this kind of empathy and advocacy for anyone. So with that in mind, that's your challenge today. Please share with us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, using the hashtag SmallActBigImpact21days, and I cannot wait to hear the ways that you're able to advocate for people. Please check out my website also, because there are, and I will put the link below, There are some really interesting organizations such as Amnesty International that will actually give you a platform to do advocacy that's really meaningful and can really bring about some really important change. So check it out and share with us. Feel free to email me any questions that you have, or you want to email and share some of your ideas with me, please do. Together, let's make a big impact, one small act at a time.